would you say you hit the shots you want to hit, or yes or no,
No.
with your irons? No. So what's your traditional ball flight and what's your big miss?
Right to left, and it'll be a pull hook.
Right to left and a pull hook? So you're a pretty good player, correct? Yeah, you shoot in the 70s, so pull hook and right to left. Now, when I look at your swing, okay, you go back, you don't have a lot of turn, okay, in your backswing. So your hands get really vertical without a huge amount of depth. In your downswing, you get in here and you start tilting hard back like this, okay? That allows you to get the shaft falling behind you. So if I were to grab this, if I'm a player and I go up and I start pulling down like this, okay, that wouldn't be a very good spot, right? I'd be hitting big slices all day. But if I combine that with this, see how the club head goes behind my hands? So it puts it in a functional position. You can see your shaft moving behind your hands. It starts going straight down. Then you start tilting out of it, right? But the problem is when a player tilts back like that, you limit your movement abilities through impact, okay? You're back here, you can't just keep rotating, so your only option is to try and throw your hands and drag your handle through impact, right? Separate your arms from your body. And with your pattern, I can definitely see how that ball, you know, starts going left or, you know, really right to left, you know. It probably doesn't start that right very often, does it? No, because your hands have just dragged so far away when you're doing that.
At target
And then hooks off of it. Sure, that makes 100% sense with your pattern. So for a player like you, I mean, it's not the quickest, easiest fix. It takes grind time, and you'd have to really make a change. And you'd have to develop it over time, slowly with like freezers and stuff like that. I would want a player like you that's trying to get more solid contact and be able to hit the shots he wants to hit, to sit there and add some more depth in their backswing, okay? So when you start looking at the physics of how the shaft works in the downswing, right? If I have more of an outward force with my hands, the club's gonna wanna go more behind me, right? If I have a super downward force like you do, it's gonna wanna steepen. I'm gonna need that compensation to work it out. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have any depth, you don't have a lot of turn out of your body, so your only option really to keep that club head behind and not be a super high handicapper is to start tilting back. I would try and get your body to turn more, get the hands deeper in the top of the backswing, and then retrain your body. And I'll give you the feels for everything so that you know what to work on and drills to work on. Retrain your body to stay more centered and rotate over the golf ball, because we don't have to tilt back if the shaft's doing the work for us. Make sense? So first off, let's work the backswing turn. So go ahead and set up to this ball. Okay? Now, we're not going to hit this. We're going to turn back together. I want you to feel that as you start going back, that right leg's going to extend some, and this hip is going to turn, and crank. And your body gets a big turn in that backswing, right? So you feel that positioning out of your hip and your chest there with that big turn. Now, I talk about this all the time in my videos, right? It probably gets very repetitive, but if you look at lines where you want the butt of the club to go, right? So this is toe line, this is ball line, this is heel line, okay? If you're a player who struggles to get the club to work out, you're gonna wanna get your hands more towards heel line in your backswing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so set up for me. Get me that big crank and just stop at the top of your backswing. Good, beautiful. Now, I'm gonna have you go to the top. I don't expect you to hit this well. I expect you to hit it pretty poorly, in fact, okay? But I want you to feel is that big turn, okay, freeze, and then try and hit it. I haven't worked it all with you on your downswing feel, so I'll come back and do that. But I want you to see that big depth position at the top. So after we get to the top, we need to work on what the chest is doing, okay? So if I were to put this club across my shoulders, right? You get in a habit in your downswing of taking the butt of the club backwards like that, right? So that puts me in a condition where the first move down is my lead hip starts to rise, okay, and I fall back. I want to feel everything's working down and around in a golf swing. Does that make sense? Yeah. Especially because I just looked at that video of you. Your shaft is working amazingly, and I took you from barely hanging on with that tilt to keep it just behind your hands now you're super underneath, right? And you can't even get back to the golf ball, which is fine. We just got to get your body turning to get it back out in front, okay? So the feel will be, when you start your downswing, you're going to get the lead side turning back and around. Now the good thing is you're going to work on this for the next while, because that's going to be a part of the speed session too. So you're getting a head start on that, all right? But up top, down. Now if you watch my chest, okay? If I were to put this club back across my chest, when I go back, I'm going to be in a position where I'm trying to feel that that butt of that club is pointing more down to the golf ball, right? So we would feel like we're going up and then reaching down to grab that golf ball. My shoulder, I'm going to feel my trail shoulder is going to stay inside of the outside part of my trail foot. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Never want to tilt back. So that's the feel I want. So let's get rid of the club for a second. Cover up, and I'm gonna give you that drill in a second. Get in your stance. Turn back for me. Good. Good load. Okay? Now start getting the lead side down. Turn, crunch it right here. Oh, see how you're taking your shoulder down like that?
Yeah.
Watch this. See how my lead butt cheek goes back? It's like a squat. Yeah, exactly. You give me that. Squat it down. Good. Now, boom. See how that chest stayed right on top of that golf ball the whole time?
Yeah.
Give me a couple more of those. Good. You can feel like you're opening more instead of going forward. So, set up again. No, set up again. Turn back. Start going. See how I brought you towards me?
So it's like here.
Yes, 100%. That's the exact feel we want. Good. Now grab that club and put it across your chest like I did there. And really concentrate on taking, turn back for me. I want you to take this end of the club to that golf ball as fast as possible without going behind you. Start turning. Beautiful. That's the feel that we want to get out of your chest. So I'm going to put you in a mode where you're just working those feels. Okay? Yeah. Then I'm going to come back and we'll put a golf ball in front of you and start getting you turning more with the golf ball. So, first thing I have to change is your setup again. You're getting way too tall at address, and then you're sitting into your backswing. Okay? I want you to be able to turn big, not sit down in your move. And then you don't get the turn that you want and you're pulling out a little bit steep. I will say that that swing right now looks a million times better than it did when we first started doing FaceTime lessons a while back. It's in a lot better place. But because of how you set up balance-wise, you throw yourself into a position where you just can't move the pressure the way you want to do. So go ahead and set up to that golf ball. We're not going to hit it yet. Don't worry about if it's in a divot, son. Just set up to it. Okay. So get a, that's enough knee bend. Scoot back from the golf ball a little bit. There you go. We need to feel as though we round more to get down to that golf ball. You see that? Scoot back a little bit more. There you go. Right there. Now, I'm going to take your back. There you go. See how we're getting more of a round here versus having our shoulders back when I set you up? That's what we're looking for in your backswing. Okay? Now from here, just start turning up to the top of your backswing and stop. So you see how that load right there did not require us to go up and move down into the golf ball. We felt kind of like we were going up and loading. Mm-hmm. You felt that?
Yeah.
Okay, so start over for me. Get that round. Boop. There we go. Now, take the club back to the top. That's a really good turn right there. That's what we're looking for, right? So setup is going to dictate what a player does with their movement pattern, right? If you get up here and you're too tall, you can't just turn on that into a good position. If I just turn, everything's really flat and I'm not in a great spot, right? So you try and compensate for the fact that you're just standing and holding this golf club right here next to you by building into that position in the backswing. I want you set to where you can effectively just move right away. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay, cool. So, show me a good setup. All right, that's good. Now go ahead and try and hit one. Good turn out of that. Get tall. Feel tall in your backswing. Good. That's much better, dude. That's much more athletic. I like that. Hey guys, if you like this video, please like and comment. I come out with new content every Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Thanks a lot, you guys.